Hi, my name is Moritz, founder of Komposo. In this video, I'll do a full tutorial of how to use Komposo. I'm going to walk through all of the important features, so by the end of this video, you should know exactly what kind of UI designs you can create with Komposo and how to create them. Let's dive in. All right, let's just enter into the app, and the first thing you'll see is a dashboard page here, and we have a projects page as well, which houses all of your projects that you've created, and then also a support page, which you can check out. Now let's just create a new project. I'll click here, and it creates a new untitled project. We'll just call this one demo for YouTube. And now we can get started. So you can see this modal here is opened, and that's where you can start typing in your prompts. So the first thing that we'll do is I'm going to show you some of the different modes that we have. So we have here the web app mode, the marketing website mode, mobile apps, and component. So let's create one design in each mode. So for a web app, we'll just create a finance dashboard app. We'll create that, and we will also select fast mode for now. So we have these two generation modes. So fast uses a fast model, but a bit lower quality model, and design max uses a high quality model, but the generation will take a little bit longer. And you can also set your model preferences here in settings. So I'll use fast mode for now, just to make this a bit faster, and then we'll generate a finance dashboard app in a web app mode. Then we'll generate a marketing website. So let's make it a dog food subscription website. So this is really for creating landing pages, and you'll see the component is also bigger. It's like double the size of this. Then mobile apps, I think that's obvious what that is. Let's make a food delivery app, and we'll create that here. And then finally, we have components. It can be whatever components that you want to integrate into one of your websites. So let's say we want to create just the sign-in component, and then it will create only that component. Okay, so you can see here, this is the web app screen. It created a finance dashboard app. Now, what you can do is you can actually double click, or you can use this button here to interact with the screen. So in this case, this has a scroll. So this is just one screen. The other screens are not there. You would have to design the other screens as well with a separate prompt. So right now, just to clarify, this is just this screen that you're seeing right here. You can also preview the screen in a separate tab. So this opens this up in a separate tab, so you can just view it on full screen. And yeah, same for the other screens here. So if I click into this one, so landing pages are really nice to preview. I can double click into it and scroll. Or I can again press the preview here to preview it here. By the way, navigating, you can use the select mode here to navigate around. And then you can use, if you're using the trackpad, you can use two fingers to kind of move around, or you can use your mouse and the keyboard with Shift, or on a Mac it's Command, to kind of move up and down, or you can just switch between these and use these buttons here to zoom in and zoom out. Now, one of the things that you'll have noticed straight away is that this design tool is faster than other design tools, especially when the fast mode is used. And the reason for that is because we generate HTML code, and a lot of the other design tools are generating more complex code. It's usually in React. And so one of the benefits of this platform is that just you can generate these designs much faster, and therefore you can iterate on your concepts much faster. Okay, now let's do something cool. So I want to, let's say, create a web app, and I want to get some inspiration first. So I'll go to Dribble, and this is one of the good, nice use cases here. So let's enter dashboard and just search for dashboard UI. And let's say I really like this one. It does look great. And I'll just copy it. And then I can use this image and just paste it in here, use it as reference. And then I can say something like, either clone this, or I can say use this as reference and create a dashboard in the same style. Okay. For this demo purposes, let's clone this. Let's try this out. And then I will also select design max, just so we get a bit higher quality. And then we can use the keyboard shortcut here to generate this. Okay, it's finished generating, and as you can see, what it came up here is quite close to the original, not exactly the same, of course. And what this can do for you is you can basically take something as a starting point and then continue iterating on it. This could be also used if you want to take your own app and put it in there and then continue iterating on it. So that's what the image pasting an image feature is really useful for. Now, what I can do from here is I can say use this as reference. And it will basically use this screen here as reference for the new screen that we will create. So for example, in this app, I want to create the next screen, the tasks screen. And I'll say create the tasks screen of this application. Keep it in the same style as the reference. You don't necessarily need to say the second sentence, but we'll do it just to be safe. And again, we will generate that and put it right next to this screen here. Okay, and just like that, the second screen is done generating, and you can see that it used the exact same style. It even used the same sidebar, and it made the next page now selected in this sidebar. And then it created the content part relevant to what this page is about. So this is the tasks board now. And we can again preview it here and just see what it looks like in real full screen. Okay, now what we can do is, let's say I want a couple of changes here. I want to just change this screen. Then I have this edit button over here. Inside of this edit button, I can select either global, and that basically means it edits the entire screen, or I can do a section edit, which allows me to select a specific part of the screen and only edits that part, or I can do text edit. So I can, for example, edit the text here and just add some characters here or change this completely. Now, let's do a section edit, and let's say I just want to change this part of the screen and the rest looks fine. And we can just make a simple edit here and just say fill in the in review column with some content. Okay, and for this purpose, I think we can stay on fast mode just to make it a bit faster. It will still use the same style and all of that. And if you're doing like more design heavy things, then I would recommend switching to the design max mode. Okay, and here it's done generating. It has filled up this column with content. Now you can do basically the same things you could do inside of this modal here. You can do the same things inside of the edit. So you can upload images here if you wanted to reference another image for the style. You can also tag other screens. So for example, if I want to use, let's say I really want to use these overview cards inside of this screen as well, then I can make the edit and say this is screen 4. So I can make the edit and go global selection. I want to integrate the overview cards of screen 4 inside of this screen. And then it should put the overview screens somewhere here. Or we can actually specify where it should put that. Position it underneath, or position it above the what are these called, like the filter tabs. Okay, so it did insert these cards, although probably I didn't describe the position that well, so I actually wanted them between the title and these things. So I just didn't do a good enough job of describing where I want it. What you can also do here is switch back into a previous version of the edit. So if I go back here, this is how it looked before, and this is version 3 of the edit. I can also always look at my prompt history. So if I go here into this dropdown, open up the prompt history, and then you'll see this is the prompt I used just now. I want to integrate the overview cards of screen 4 inside of this screen, position it above the filter tabs. So yeah, looking at it again now, it probably read this as the filter tab, so I just placed it here. Anyways, we can fix that. We can essentially go back into version 2 and just run the same prompt again and correct it a bit. We can go here and just copy that prompt, and then we can go here and edit it again. We won't do it now. I'll do a different, more simple edit. I'll just turn this screen into a dark mode design. So I'll duplicate it first. It duplicates this screen. And then I'll just do a global selection here and say, turn it into dark mode. And while that's generating, here's another trick that you can do. So let's say you wanted to only edit this section here, but you want to reference something that is inside of the screen, but outside of the section that you selected. You can always tag the same screen to use that as reference. So we can tag screen 5 and basically say, hey, I want this component here to be inside of here, for example, just a random example here, but it's possible to do that. You can basically reference the same screen. Okay, now just to show you a couple more things that you can do here in this dropdown. So here you can view the source code directly. So this is actually the code underlying this design. You can copy that code and export it right away. You can, as I said, view the prompt history. You can extract theme. I'll go into that in a bit. Duplicate. You can export the HTML. You can also export this as a PNG. So let's do that. And then it will start a download in a second. So as you can see here, the download started. If I click on it, it will open that in my other screen here. If I drag it up, you'll see it here as a PNG. Okay, and of course you can also delete the screen if you want to. And now you can see it turned this duplicate screen now into dark mode. Another thing I want to show you is that you can actually, right now we've been using this single screen mode to generate one screen at a time, but you can also use the multi-screen mode to generate the entire screens of an application. So let's say we want to create a food delivery app, and then we want to make this a mobile app. Now I can either generate them straight away, then it will just basically use this prompt, think about which screens would make sense in a food delivery app, and then generate them all at once. Or I can do a step in between and say I want to review the screens, and it will basically present you the screens that it thinks makes a lot of sense. So on this screen, you can now edit those screens. So this is the screen 1 it came up with: the home and browse restaurants, restaurant menu, shopping cart and checkout, order tracking, account and orders history. Okay, and now I could make some edits to it. I can just change this screen if I wanted to. I can delete these. Let's just maybe do 3 screens. I think that's enough. I can also add a new screen, of course, but let's just create these 3 screens that it suggested. And once I click this button here, it will start generating all 3 screens at once. Okay, very nice. So it has now created these 3 screens. Again, if I want to edit them, I can do that easily here. So for example, if I wanted this screen to also have the bottom navigation bar, which for some reason it left out here, then I can easily do that, right? I can just say, I'll tag this home browse restaurant screen, add the bottom nav from this screen, and then I can apply that. Another thing that I can do while this is generating is a pretty cool feature called variations. So let's say I generated these initial screens, but I want to just see what else it could look like, or how else this screen could be designed. I can click on the variations button here. And here I can select a couple of options. So I can select how many variations I want to create. Let's do 2 for now. Then I can select the design mode, which is the fast mode or the high quality mode. Let's go with the fast mode for now. And then I can select between style and concept variations. So style really only changes the style and keeps everything else the same. So it just tries out different colors, different fonts, and so on. And concept actually changes the function of this and the layout of this screen. So let's do style for now, and then we can use the medium creative range. We can also add some added instructions. So for example, generate them all in dark mode, but let's leave this empty for now and just generate these 2 style variations. And while that's generating, we can go back to this screen, and you see we've added the navigation bar now to the screen. Okay, and just like that, you see we've generated 2 style variations of this. And I would actually say that this one looks really good. I would actually, if I want to continue, I would probably use this one and continue building on that. It looks a bit cleaner. Nice. Another feature that I can show you here is the project context feature. So if the whole project is about one specific thing, for example, we just want to develop this food delivery app inside of this project, then we can do that in here. So I can create a separate PRD, for example, in ChatGPT about this food delivery app and just paste all of it in here. So, and then we'll save this context. And then this context will just be used in every screen that we generate so that it kind of has a context of the general app that we're building. So this can be useful so that you don't need to constantly rewrite the same parts of the prompt. Now, let me show you the themes feature. So you can see here, we haven't used that until now. There's this theme dropdown. So you can select the theme here. And the theme that I really like right now is the ramp theme. And let's again create a food delivery app with this new theme, and then you can kind of contrast it and you'll see how different it is from this original one. What else can you do? So as I said earlier, I actually really like this variation that it came up with. So I can go in here and I can extract this as a theme. So I can say extract, and once it's done that, I can say this is kind of like a minimalism screen, minimalism theme, save it, and now I can actually use this minimalism theme throughout other generations that I make. I can also edit it slightly, so I can manage my themes here, and then I can go into my minimalism one that I just created, maybe change the color slightly, change the typography, effects, spacing, and so on, get a little preview here, and then save. Here I can also create new ones, so I can just import something from a CSS file. I can also upload an image to have it extract the theme from the image, or I can just also export the CSS here of the theme that I just created. All right. Now this screen is almost done generating, but you can see already that it is in a different theme than this one. So this is in this ramp theme. It has this like yellowish glow to it, which is really nice. And the buttons just look a bit different. Very cool. Okay, finally, I want to show you what you can do when you're done with the project. So this share feature here is really useful for sharing it with clients. So if you're creating an app for clients, you can just generate a share link here. And then you can also manage which screens should be inside of this share. So I can, for example, say I only want to share the mobile screens that I had generated here. Save that. And then I can essentially copy that and send it to my client. And once they open it, they will be able to see the screens that I have selected here for sharing, and they can view those screens. Very handy feature. And if I want to actually build out this application, I've finished designing it here in Komposo, and I want to just pass it to an AI coding agent to build out the actual functionality of this, then I can click on export. I can select which parts, again, I want to export, which screens. So let's say I only want the mobile screens, and I only want, again, these 3 screens that I had generated. And then I can click continue here, and it will create an optimized export or several optimized exports files. You can select in which framework you want to build this. So we have several frameworks here. For web applications, obviously, like you can go for Next.js. For a mobile application, you can go for Expo or iOS. And so let's just pick Expo right now. And this will give you a setup file. This is a file that you can just, it's a big prompt that you can just pass to the AI coding agent to build out this entire project for you and turn it into a functional prototype. Here are actually the specific screens that we have selected for export. Yeah, and then you can download the project files, or you can just copy the CLI command and then go straight into Cursor, paste the CLI command into your terminal, and then just get all of your files there. Okay, and that covers all of the features of Komposo that we have right now. Right now, it's early December 2025. If you're watching this video later, it's very likely that we've added new features. So when we add new features, you can find them all on this YouTube channel. But I think this video gives you a very good overview of the current state of the product and what you can do with it. So I hope this was helpful. If you want to try out Komposo, just go to Komposo.ai. We have a free trial. Have fun designing. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.